What's going on, guys? S&E's Garage. Today we're here with our 150 Johnson Evinrude 2-stroke outboard, and after replacing the seal for our vapor separator, we still had a leak coming from the bottom of all 6 of the carburetor float bowls. So I already went ahead a couple days ago and did the starboard side, which is this side. So these carburetors are all freshened up, new gaskets, new seals, the works. So we're gonna do the other side, and I figured I'd get it on video. Like I said, I got new float bowls, I got new gaskets, and I'm gonna show you exactly what you need to do to get them off, what you need to switch over, so on and so forth. So let me set you up, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're gonna wanna do is get these carbs in a position where they're ready to come out. Now we have these 2 relays mounted here, and it looks like they are mounted on the carbs with 2 Phillips heads. So we're going to take our Phillips head and we're going to break them loose, and we're going to pull this relay assembly off of the top of the carb so that we can access the rest of the bolts for it. So we got these 2 out. Okay, and then we can just move this whole assembly out of the way like so. So we got that. And what I might do is remove this fuel line here, just so I can get this out of the way a little bit better. So let me see. Yep, that'll come right off. And that should do it, at least for the top 2 carbs. So let me get my little nut holder. Alright, now each carb is going to be held in with 2 looks like 2 10mm bolts and some Phillips head screws. Sorry, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 10mm bolts and 2 screws. So we're going to take the top carb off, and when you're taking these off, you're going to want to remember which cylinder they came off of. Otherwise you're going to have to tune them again, and that's not something that I'm trying to have to do. So I numbered them when I took them off. Another thing you're going to have to do once we get these carbs off is there's a throttle linkage up here. We're going to have to remove that to get the throttle body off so we can replace the throttle body gaskets. That is something that I am going to do while I'm in there. Here's number 3, and here's number 4. And then we have the 2 Phillips head screws up here. We're going to take them out, and then we got the first carb off, and then I'm going to take the next 2 carbs off. Probably do that off video. There's no reason for you to watch me unscrew a whole bunch of bolts. It gets rather boring. So now we're going to take these 2 Phillips heads out. Here's number 1. Okay, here's number 2. Okay, and we got this whole carburetor off. Let me go put this down. I'm going to pick the camera up. I'm going to show you exactly where these bolts were, so you know. Alright, so this right here is the throttle body. So when you open the throttle plate, that's what opens. There's no throttle in the carb. So you'll see we had 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and then the 2 Phillips head screws. So the rest of these carbs are exactly the same. I'm gonna get these other 2 carbs off, and then I'm gonna take you over here to where I'm gonna, you know, basically rebuild the carbs, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So let me get these other 2 off, and we'll go from there. All right, so we got all 3 of our carbs off. This is the top one. This is the middle one. This is the lower one. And we have new float bowls. So the first thing we need to do is pull this drain plug out. And inside of here, there's actually a jet on the inside of the carburetor that you have to remove out of the old float bowl to transfer to the new one. So we're going to take a real big flathead here. We're going to get it in there, and we're going to break this loose. Let's try this one. Oh, this thing, these are brass plugs, they suck. If this doesn't work, you might have to take a pair of pliers and grab it that way. But I've had good luck with the other ones. I'm just using a flathead, but I don't think this one's going to cooperate with me. Let me grab a different flathead. Let's try this one. Jesus. This brass is just falling apart. Yeah, this ain't working. Alright, let's just get the bowl off and worry about getting that plug out later. Get my Phillips head. Just gonna take the 4 screws out of the bottom of the bowl. Okay, here's our float bowl. Now, like I said, in here is a jet that we have to get out. So I'm going to go in the garage, pull this off with a pair of pliers, and I'll show you how to get that jet out. Alright, so here's our float bowl. Grab these pair of pliers here. We're just going to grip it and break this loose. Alright, so now we got our brass plug loosened up. There's a little rubber O-ring on here that we're going to replace. That's what causes it to get so tight. But I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Inside of this float bowl is a little carburetor jet that, like I said, we need to get out. You just put a flat blade screwdriver in there, break it loose, and spin it out. Okay, and you'll feel that get loose. Here's the jet here. So this is where you're going to grab it by, see these 2 flats? Your flat blade will grab it like that, you pull it right out. So we're going to get our new float bowl here. Alright, we're going to drop this jet right back in. We're going to use our flat blade and do the same thing. We're going to screw it in until it's nice and tight. Just snug it up. Remember, you're screwing it into plastic, so you don't need to kill it. You'll feel it bottom out. You just go like a 1/4 turn more, and that's it. Done. So now we're going to take one of our new float bowl gaskets. You'll see there's a spot here with 3 holes. That's going to line up here with these 2 pipes, I guess you call them. So you slide them down over these pipes like this. And then there's a couple of little tangs that center the gasket. Alright, now we take our new float bowl. We're going to replace this rubber O-ring right here. If we can get it off. Okay, get that off. Get our new one. Put it on the plug. And I like to screw this in before I put the carb together. And this is going into plastic, so again, you don't need to kill it. Just snug it up. Done. Okay, your float bowl is going to go right back on the carb. And we're going to take our 4 screws and we're going to snug them up. Again, I'm going to reiterate, we're screwing these into plastic, so don't kill them. And I like to go diagonally, and you tighten them uniformly. So I'll tighten that a little bit, and I'll tighten this a little bit, and then I'll go to this side. Alright, tighten that, go to this side, tighten this. Okay, I'll just kind of snug them up. Again, plastic, don't kill them. Alright. Now, I forgot to order these gaskets, so I'm kind of forced to reuse them and hope that they don't leak. But you're just going to kind of pop these back on, and then pop your carbs back on the motor. So let me get these other 2 carbs done, and we'll be back with you. Alright guys, we got all 3 of our carbs back on. We got all the hoses reconnected. So what we're going to do now is go over here and we're going to squeeze our bubble. We're going to prime it up. And we're going to check for leaks. So you can hear all the carbs filling up. We got them all primed. And we're just going to kind of look. We're going to look for any obvious drips, any obvious leaks. And if we don't see anything, we're going to grab our rabbit ears and we're going to fire the boat off. See how it runs. But we're just looking, you know, at our bowls. We're looking behind the bowls. And I'm really not seeing anything. So yeah, let's fire it off, see how it runs.